This is the yard of Ryan and Laura LaRue and their two daughters, Nicole and Megan. So we did the installation here in 2013, in 2014, and 2015. It's been 7 years since we started and 5 years since we completed. And since then, we've been spraying the yard almost every year with compost tea spray 3 times a year to keep it really healthy. So Ryan, what did this yard look like before we started in 2013?
When we moved in, this whole front area and the side yard was just one big expanse of grass. There was a very drastic slope down the front. This is south facing, so the grass never grew. It was really hard to mow. It was really rock hard and really difficult to cut. It took us about 3 hours each week to cut the grass. Laura wanted something that was green year round and had a lot of attraction throughout the year. My goal, because I used to cook, was to have the kids forage for food. So I wanted them to be able to come out and when they were playing, eat from the yard and kind of understand when we go to the store where it came from and kind of understand how it got there. You were able to take those vastly wild, different ideas and turn it into this that met everybody's goal.
Right, so why don't we just list what the foods are in this yard and the fruits and berries?
I'm going to try and get them all.
Okay.
So right now we've got rhubarb. So we've made a bunch of different things in our house with rhubarb. Rhubarb pancakes, rhubarb cake, obviously. My youngest made some really good rhubarb lemonade. We've got wild strawberries, Saskatoon berries, gooseberries, honeyberries. We've got an apple tree. We've got 2 pear trees. We got grapes, currants, 2 different kinds of currants. I think we have yellow and black currants.
So how about your harvest? What's your yield every year?
So jams and jellies I usually do between 60 and 80 jars every year. Our fruit trees produce substantially more. So I'll make pear butter and apple butter as well that I'll freeze and use through the year. Our apple tree gives us about 100 pounds a year. The 2 different pear trees kind of produce a little bit different. So one pear tree is a lower yield and we get about 50, 60 pounds. And then the other one's a little bit higher of a yield and we get about 80 to 90 pounds of fruit a year.
And what have the girls learned, or what do they help you with now with regards to the food?
They help me pick them and then bring them in and process them, juice them, and then we make jelly from that. Once we've got a whole bunch of juice and I'm having trouble keeping up jellying that, we'll start cooking them down and making butters, like an applesauce or a pear sauce. And then lots of our friends, we give a lot of that fruit away as well because they're excited about using it. Some of them make ciders and juices and jellies with them as well.
In terms of your objective for food, it sounds like we met it. Is that
Absolutely.
True?
Yep, very well met.
How about Laura's objectives? Have they been met?
The yard is beautiful year round. It's way less maintenance than even cutting the grass was. We've got a ton of activity in the yard. We've got all the different bees.
Right, because Laura said she wanted her children to learn more about the natural environment in terms of attracting pollinators and how that works.
They've been able to see all the different types of bees. Unfortunately, in the water dishes and the bee dishes, often there's a bee or 2 that plunks into the water. So a few times a day they come running out and scoop them out, set them in the sun, and after 20 minutes the bees revive and shake themselves off and fly away. So they've got up close encounters with all the different bees. So it's really exciting. They've learned all the different kinds of bees. They've learned that they're not scary and they're not mean and how gentle they are. I think their favorite ones are the ones that stick the pollens on their hind legs and they watch and see how big that can get. So it's really lots of fun for them.
I think your neighbors like it too, because I know that one of them hired me to do the same kind of thing in their yard, but I also see that there's 2 neighbors across the alley and up the alley who've done the same kind of thing with the wood chip mulch and the...
That's right. We brag a lot about how quick and easy it is and how we don't have to run a lawnmower. It's quite a hit with all of the original members of the community. Lots of the plants that we've planted here are indigenous, so they recognize a lot of them and haven't seen them for a while, so they like to stand and walk and talk and point out all the different things going on.
And how was it to work with EcoYards, with me and the crew?
It was great. We threw some challenges your way. You really were able to develop a plan that met all of our needs and all of our wants. Your crew was great. Every day they showed up, big smiles on their face. It was having a big joyous group to do quite hard labor to dig and haul, and it was fun to have them in the yard and to work with them. It was great.
Wonderful. Well, it's been a pleasure to work with you and Laura and your children and to see the wonderful results and how happy the neighborhood is about this yard.
We're very happy to continue our working relationship and, you know, all the beauty that you're able to provide.